What is up, guys? Archon Tsunami here, bringing you guys another YouTube video. I'm gonna start bringing you guys more YouTube content at the end of the month since I can't stream as much due to the data cap seemingly being permanently stuck at 90% at the end of the month. Anyway, today's video we're gonna be discussing the new TFT changes that are on the PBE. We have a guest today as well. You may remember him from the Archon TV What show that we used to do here on the channel. He is
I'm Zigzag 808. I
formerly
used to be Sir Fat Nuts, but okay, we changed that. New life. Alright. Yo, but Sir Fat Nuts is still trademarked. When you steal it, I'll hunt you down.
okay. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and break down the patch notes. We have a change to crit strike damage. So now instead of it being multiplicative, it's now additive. And this is going to hurt assassins. They're really trying to gut assassins here. I think this is a 50% loss, and they change IE where it comes out net neutral. What do you think of the changes to the crit strike damage in assassins?
I think this is utter crap because assassins weren't really broken to begin with. It's just people didn't build for them. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe there's a couple broken assassins themselves, like Pike, but as far as the class goes, you can pretty much beat it with anything. Like Nobles beats assassins. Unless you have like some decked out assassins. The Nobles beats assassins. You got Glacial. Glacial's just intense. That was crap all over assassins.
Yeah.
Elementalists actually count. If you have a PD on a cannon, you're gonna destroy their whole account, their whole team.
Yeah, I mean, PD does a really good job of also countering assassins, because it prevents the buff that they get since they don't deal crit strikes to you.
This is just gonna ruin assassins, so you might as well never even pick it after this patch.
It'll be interesting to see where they set. I mean, I think Eve is still viable. I think Katarina could be viable, potentially. You can get her ult off in the right spot. I still think there's going to be some viability there. They just won't be as strong.
Still won't be Glacial.
No, that's just because Glacials has a whole nother list of problems that make the game unfun for everybody else around them. Like being the only bonus to, hard CC somebody, especially for 2 seconds. That's a long time, TFT. There should be some diminishing returns on it. That's one thing I would like to see for Glacial. Either that or lower the percent. So that way they're not proccing it as frequently. Something definitely has to be done though, because Glacial will just dominate a game if the RNG is in your favor. Which 30% seems to be almost 100% it feels like whenever you're up against them. Sorcerers getting buffed next. They're going to get their their bonus buffed by 10% in the early game. I think this is really big because this will give sorcerers the ability to actually scale into the late game from early game. You can get that Kassadin, that Ahri, that TF, a Lulu, and actually be able to keep it the entire game instead of having to maybe transition to something else late game.
It's gonna make Ahri and Morgana so dense right now. It's probably gonna be the new comp. I'm guessing. With them, at least.
I could see sorcerers being bumped into the meta just because Ahri's also getting buffed down below, which we'll talk about. She's also getting a buff in the form of Wild, getting an attack speed per stack bonus movement from 2 to 10%. It's being moved from 8 to 10, sorry, with a 2% net gain. This will help a lot of comps, actually. This will help, your shapeshifters with Gnar, Nidalee. It helps your sorcerers with, like I said, Ahri. Who else is Wild? I think who else is Wild, to be honest. I know there's like one more that I'm missing. That Gnar, shapeshifter.
We all know Nard.
Shapeshifters in general are kind of weird right now. It feels like sometimes they just don't transform fast enough since they nerfed them.
Yeah, but when Nard does, there's no killing
3,500. Yeah, that's true. Can't think of who I'm missing for. Oh, I guess Elise. Yeah, Elise. I think the other one I was missing. Or no, Wild. Who's the Wild?
Wild. So we got
Gnar,
Gnar, Warwick, and
There's one more.
Ari.
Yeah. Okay, so Brawler helps in the Brawler category. It'll help in the, like I said, Shapeshifters will definitely see probably the most benefit from this. I can't imagine them not seeing any benefit. Like, it's crazy what this is going to do for them. Ari being a sorcerer, this will help her get her ultimate up faster, which with the sorcerer buff, you could see, more Nar, Nar Ari comps, Nar Ari Nidalee. Or you could even throw in Elise, I guess, or something later, Swain.
I'm trying to mess with wilds. Like I was trying to do an assassin wild build earlier. Kind of didn't work out so.
Yeah, like the 10% buff or the 8% buff that's currently now at, like, just isn't enough to make wilds viable.
I've even done is it ranger wild before, and it sounds OP, but it really is.
Yeah, Rangers are kind of bad right now. The only way you can make Rangers work is if you build around Demon or you build around Glacial with them.
Yeah.
The
Wilds are deathless. They need a little love. In fact, if they would raise that speed up to 20%.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting in and out.
I feel like if they raised it up to 20%, it'd be where it's at.
Yeah. And the last one for traits is Elementalist. The Golem is getting nerfed by 300 HP from 25 to 22. I think that the Golem itself, if they're going to nerf the Golem, you should kind of be able to pick where it comes out, because right now it just feels like it's random. There might be a way to do it, and I just don't know about it. But I've had the Golem come out in my back line, and my front line just gets rammed because you're expecting the Golem to be there to help tank and soak and all that. That's what you're building for if you go Elementalist. You're hoping the Golem is your front line.
You're just leaving a couple spaces open, and you're like hoping he goes to the race.
Yeah, it's very punishing when he doesn't. He chooses to be a backline mage.
The only way I've been able to control it is to completely surround my elementals and other units.
Yeah.
That's still touching an elemental, one space open. That's the only way I've been able to. But even with that, sometimes it's what you want to do. Then everything's a big ball. Since Locket doesn't do what it does anymore.
Yeah, they changed everything to be line. Yep.
Yeah.
So on to champion buffs. Like we said earlier, Ari level 2 and level 3 are getting buffed. 25% for level 2, or 25 damage for level 2, sorry. And then 50 damage for level 3. So they're really trying to buff sorcerers to put them in a spot where they can do stuff and transition to late game, rather than being a transition comp, kind of like Knights are, or Phantom. Honestly, I think a couple of these traits need help. Like Phantom needs a little bit of help. There needs to be some type of earlier game Phantom that helps with Mordekaiser. Because right now you don't get Phantom buff until you get like around level 4 for not level 4, so you can pick level 4s like Kindred or who's the other one? Karthus.
Yeah, they should put York in there.
Yeah.
Early Phantom. Although that depends though what level he would come out at, because if you think about it, if his alt, okay, so if his alt is like throw zombies at you, that's it's gonna be at least level, right?
They could make him.
Is the maiden, that's gonna be level 5. But then still,
I think there needs to be a level 3 Phantom.
so level 3, yeah, level 3. I feel like York would fit perfect if you throw zombies at him.
Yeah, that would be fine. Then Mordekaiser wouldn't feel so useless, because Knights are just a terrible bonus altogether.
Yeah. Although, actually, that kind of make him kind of broken, wouldn't it?
Not really.
Imagine getting Sojin and he just like chucking zombies at everybody.
Maybe, but it'd just like be no different than Elise's Spiderlings at level 3. You get like 4 or 5 of them.
Except he's not shape shifting.
Oh yeah, I guess you can constantly throw them, but if you make them low health enough, it wouldn't matter. I don't know. There's got to be something they can do though.
There's other stuff.
I mean, I don't think the Onion would be very good, just because
That
range can still attack out of it. Yeah. What's his W? Oh, it's the blow.
throw zombies, onion, and then just hit them with the Q.
Maybe what you could do is you could have the W instead of, making the zombies attack, you could make your other champions focus that target that it's hit by.
Or they can make it as passive. Or like at max. I don't know. When he now either way he should be spawning zombies. I think that's for ghouls.
Kind of cutting in and out.
Either way he should be spawning ghouls.
Yeah. So let's go on to the next champion here. Let's not dawdle too much. Akali is getting a 50 health nerf and a attack speed nerf by 5%, or 0.5 rather. Not sure why Akali's getting nerfed. I hear people say all the time that she's like really strong. She's really strong, but I don't ever really notice it, to be honest.
She ain't that.
Like
she's good.
Yeah, for a level 4 unit.
Expect a level 4 assassin to be.
Yeah, she's level 4. It's not like she's, level 3 like Evelyn and just one-shotting backlines. Like, Evelyn is disgusting right now.
Looks like they're buffing her Evelyn's attack a little bit. Her auto attacks kind of suck at, but her ultimate, man, that stuff can crit and multiply off the crit. Cause if you look at her Eve's ult just scales and multiplies off of
missing health. It scales off missing health, yeah. The lower they are, the more multiplier it is for the attack damage, or the magic damage. Yeah, she can one-shot, like, entire backlines if you set it up right. And it comes up frequently enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you read it, it says, like, 2 times multiplier for crit, or something like that. So you're getting that on top.
Yeah. Plus, she's a demon, so she can mana burn your backline to deal even more damage before she ults you. So take 100 true damage beforehand, and then just get insta-killed by, Evelyn. Yeah, fun times.
And
even by yourself.
Wrong, people. Don't buy Evelyn. Leave that for me and our. We will buy that champion. You guys buy other stuff.
Yeah, I tend to spend most of my games trying to figure out, like, I'll go some weird comp nobody even goes, like, Elementalist Pirates, and I swear, I cannot believe it.
Stealing all the Elemental Pirates.
There'll be 3 people going Elementalist Pirates. Like, what? It doesn't even flow together. Why are you doing this? Are you doing it just because I'm building it and you've seen that? Like,
dude, that's the strategy, is to outbuild your comp. That's the strategy.
Yeah, because you pull all the champions out of the pool before they can. But even so, like, you gotta have some type of brain power to know that that's probably not the comp you want to copy. He's going Elemental Pirates. I'm gonna win with this. Like, Pirates doesn't even transition into the late game. They're just there for econ boosting in the early game as a transition.
Right now, they have some good pirates. Just it kind of if you want to get level 6 early, if you're gonna go pirates, so that way you can have at least another buff in it.
Well, yeah, because pirate
at least have sorcerers, blade masters, gun slingers. What's the other one? Assassin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. Pirates are weak because they have to rely on their base stats to deal any type of damage. They don't get any type of buff for having the Pirates buff. They have to rely on their secondary stat in order to get their bonus. And in some cases, that's really hard for them to do. I think Graves and GP are the only ones that actually have synergy outside of the Pirate synergy. Because they're both gunslingers. Not really sure how GP qualifies as a gunslinger, considering he attacks with his blade, but, whatever, gunslinger, right? Stabbing people in the face.
Spam Q, right?
Yeah, that's what he's doing, apparently, at point-blank range.
Right. He's a real nice gunslinger.
Ranged 80 carry standing in melee range. Why did I die?
You're gonna walk up to their face, not even a square away. Bop.
Yeah. GP. Kennen is next. They're nerfing Kennen 5 damage, and this is another one I don't understand. Like, Kennen...
That's not what was strong about.
Yeah, that's not at all what's strong about him.
No one got auto attacked to death by a cannon in TFT. And Kamoy. That his autos are too.
No, it's definitely his ultimate with certain items. I mean, nobody who is using demons is complaining about Kennen because Kennen never ults.
Yeah.
Seems really weird that they're hitting Kennen here like that. Well, they're giving Mordekaiser a 50 HP buff, and we've already discussed what's wrong with Mordekaiser. It's
Don't
definitely
worry,
not his
guys.
HP.
He's still weaker than Lucian, um, the level 1,
Well, I mean,
and Garen, and pretty much he still has less health than everybody.
yeah, he's pretty weak. I mean, it's not even a health problem that's Mordekaiser's issue. It's that night buff doesn't really do much.
Look for
And that,
Evelyn now. Evelyn has the same health he got.
oh, does he? Yeah, they did. Why? That's really weird. Why does a level 1 tank have the same health as a level 3 assassin? That's mildly
Cause,
concerning.
Cause they got geniuses working on these patches. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I don't think the problem with Mordekaiser is his health. Like, it's just not. It's his synergies that are terrible. Phantom Knight, like I said, Knight is terrible. Phantom is
Yeah.
terrible because you don't get to it until the late game. Yes, okay, you have the ability to, make a level 3 unit have 100 HP that you can just walk over in the front line. Cool. But you're
I
not going to
heard
get to that point.
I heard rumors they're buffing Knight, but doesn't seem to be on here for this
Yeah,
patch.
Knight needs something because Knight is not good. Knight is like weak nobles. That's actually what it is. It's discount nobles. Because if you can
Yeah.
get, I would rather have 6 nobles than
It's
whatever,
no
6 knights.
it's nobles that you need to abuse loot. That's what, like, knights and brawlers, you want to make them work, you have to have a loot. I feel like.
Yeah.
Or or obviously the other, what do you even go Imperials, I guess, for knights, so I guess you have to get Draven, and that's like level 6
Draven,
unless you're
Katarina.
super lucky.
You can go Katarina, but then that's really kind of weird. You probably would rather go Blade Master Imperials than Assassins Imperials. But like I said, if Katarina gets in the right spot with the Imperial buff, she's going to murder the entire enemy team. So I don't know. Like they
Well,
just
I mean, if you're going for night buffs, alone Katarina with Darius, like Darius is pretty much the, it's probably the best synergized there.
yeah. I mean, I think honestly, I think synergies are the biggest problem with this game in general because some of the synergies they don't make sense. Like Pike should be a Phantom Pirate Assassin. That right there would make Mordekaiser
It's
more
literally
viable.
3 things.
Yes, and it's not like 3 things don't exist in the game. GP's a what? Gunslinger, Blade Master somehow, Pirate.
In fact,
So
it would do a game a lot better if they just um make Pike 3 costs and then have
yeah, I would be fine with that. Make Pike 3 cost.
Phantom.
Yeah, instead of spam nerfing him, just make him 3 cost, give him the Phantom passive, and then Mordekaiser suddenly becomes more viable. Like that's Mordekaiser's problem is his synergies are garbage. That's kind of the same problem I have with some other champions that I don't like to run. Like Cho is Void Brawler. Like all the brawlers, they don't even have any synergy with each other. I guess Rek'Sai does. I guess Void, but Warwick's Wild Brawler. Volley is what Glacial Brawler. And I mean, there's just it's just hard to make certain comps work, especially with the fact that you can't make certain, you know, comps or certain synergies with the spatula. They need to make more of those synergies available. If you could make, or you can make knights with Knight's Vow. Sorry, if you could make Imperials, that would be awesome. What else is there? Nobles. It'd be nice if you could make nobles. So that way you could, get rid of the Vayne because she's useless. She's terrible. I would rather
Yeah.
have somebody else replace Vayne as a noble, like Yasuo. Give me Yasuo. He at least
Or
has
buff
synergy with.
Vayne.
They're never gonna buff Vayne. She's terrible. Even with I had like a level 3 glacial Runaan's Hurricane Vayne with rapid fire cannon, and she was horrible. Like her, I think that's actually bugged. To be honest, don't build rapid fire with Runaan's. I think it's a bugged. I'm not sure. It seemed like every other auto it would proc Runaan's. And you could tell because Vayne's passive actually goes underneath all of them. It doesn't work like it does in League where there's no synergy. You can actually proc Vayne's passive on 3 people at the same time. Weird
Yeah.
enough. But you think that'd be OP, but it's just not. Like there's nothing I could do to make her OP. I had 6 glacial buff, as well as, you know, the Runans and the rapid fire, and she just didn't do damage. It didn't feel good. And then you have Tristana, who just bombs people and kills them. I think she's so much better as an early game unit. Like, as a carry, she's just better than Vayne. She'll always be better than Vayne. And they're actually nerfing Tristana in this patch by 0.5 attack speed, and that's not going to do anything to make Vayne viable. It's just Vayne needs her Silver Bolts to deal a bit more damage. Either that or swap her with somebody else in the Nobles tree. Make her a level 2 or a level 3 Noble. Actually, switch her and Lucian around. You could actually do that. That would be fine, because Lucian already as a level 2 unit isn't insanely good. You could give him the level 1 status like you did Elise. What do you think of that? Do you think that would maybe make Vayne viable, and then you could make her bolts deal more damage, and she would actually be decent?
Maybe. I just think they just need to make her do more damage outright and fix. Obviously, this whole game is pretty much bust. let's be rude.
Yeah, it wasn't really thought of and put together properly. Like some of the level 5 units struggle. I think Yasuo was the best level 5 unit in the game. Maybe Swain could tie him, but that's it.
I mean, Kale is pretty good too, but you gotta have stuff.
Yeah, you gotta have synergy, but Yasuo just fits in any comp no matter what. Because he has so much HP because of his shield.
Like, oh no, I'm losing. Alright, selling everything, get Yasuo, and start from there. Put all your items.
Yeah, put all your health items on Yasuo, and he's got like an 8 million HP shield. CCs everybody every 3 autos. It's just nuts.
Pro tips right there.
Yeah, always get Yasuo. He always works no matter what. Like, it's stupid.
Thinking about it, just get him.
He's
like, if you had to make him an assassin or a sorcerer, just get him. I seen the sorcerer Yasuo earlier. He was one-shotting people with tornado.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because everything, yeah, all the ultimates are spell damage, and none of them are physical. That's the problem. Like, there's a lot of things they need to fix. Like I said, Nobles falls off because everybody starts building spell damage comps, and once you start getting Muramanas and Spear of Sojins on people, the 100 armor doesn't even matter anymore, because they're not even hitting you with autos. They're hitting you with magic damage. And you're just not going to heal through it.
Yeah, nice. They should get both. I feel like they should get a reduction to both, to be honest.
Yeah. So, anyway, now that we talked about Mordekaiser and all the problems that Mordekaiser has, as well as segueing into all the other problems that all the other champions tend to have, we're on to Poppy.
Yay, finally! A fun champion being buffed.
So Poppy is getting 100 damage at level 2 and 200 damage at level 3. And if you don't know, she hits multiple targets per level as well. I think it goes up to 3. And her ult is one of the faster ones too, for not being a sorcerer. Actually, you should... I wonder what giving certain champion sorcerer would do. I forgot it even gave you the ability to charge your ult faster. I didn't even think about that. Could you imagine Aatrox with sorcerer?
Dude, I've been trying this, but I haven't been able to do it. But I think Alessandra is actually OP, and she needs sorcerer.
Yeah? Well, I mean, she's like Ashe. Give Ashe sorcerer, and she'd be OP too. That's Ashe's biggest problem, is that her ult takes forever to charge.
Yeah, but not only... Alessandra's is like a super Ashe ult. So it freezes them, and it like damages everything around them. So if you can buff Alessandra, they did that. Oh my god. I don't know. I know Aatrox is probably super OP too. And then, obviously, Anivia is already apparently doing like 900 damage inside those little things. That might be.
Yeah.
There's so many.
There's a lot of champions that sorcerer actually might be good on. Yeah, I don't really think about the passives that the trait gives you. I just think of like, hey, I need this to add on to the bonus trait, rather than what the base trait gives. Yeah, sorcerer would be one to try. I definitely want to try that on a few champions now that I realize and think about it a bit more. Yeah, you just run sorcerer. What?
A lot of people run death cap on Kazik too.
Yeah, because it's isolated damage. It's like I would run it on Evelyn because Evelyn I think is a better Kha'Zix.
Yeah, I agree. I tried buffing. I tried stacking Kha'Zix last game. It didn't work. So, well, I think I was bugged anyways because my assassins did like 5k damage to targets that apparently never died. I wasn't really paying attention, but it don't seem right.
Yeah, I don't know.
That math don't add up.
But speaking of assassins, we have Rengar on the list. He's another assassin. This one's just a straight buff to Rengar. I'm surprised they're buffing Rengar because Rengar is like, I don't know, like for me the tier list for assassins that have like execute targeting abilities, if you will, goes probably Eve first, then Rengar, then Kha'Zix. In reverse order, sorry. So it'd be Eve first, and then, Rengar, then Kha'Zix. Sorry if that confused anybody.
Those are the real assassins right there.
Yeah, like Rengar already
Uh,
targets the weakest unit on the field, so if you have a Rengar Eve combo and Rengar gets his ult first.
I would put actually Kha'Zix above Rengar in my opinion. Just because right now, when Rengar jumps across the field, he gets hit by every ability while he's jumping across the field. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like just because of that,
It could lead to problems, yeah. Whereas Kha'Zix just kind of walks around, he doesn't leap through things to the other side.
yeah.
But at the same time, he sets up your other Rengar sets up your other assassins for a guaranteed kill on a unit. Like if Evelyn has her ult lined up, you can ult insta kill. Yeah.
Yeah. Other way, and above to Rengar, it's probably I don't know, it's probably a little much, but people don't use Rengar.
Well, the thing, like I said, that's really confusing though is why are they nerfing assassin passive if they're gonna start buffing all the assassins again? Unless it's to nerf the early game.
They should. That's what they're trying. Just nerf the early game. They're leaving they're leaving late game. So let's take this ass. It's a really big commitment, especially now that sorcerers are gonna be. That's gonna be where it's at. It looks like I don't know. Are these changes?
Yeah, it's looking like they want to push sorcerers. I just don't see why. Like, I don't think assassins were that big of a problem.
And you're gonna auto win anything.
I mean, I don't see assassins being that big of a problem in the early game. I think nobles are more of a problem than assassins in the early game.
Right, I had to put 3 items on a Zed just to kill someone.
Yeah. Yeah,
those 2 items.
It's bad if you get.
Zed's level 2 early. He's pretty nice with assassins if you don't know.
Way out the ninja buff too. But yeah, that's pretty crazy that, they're nerfing assassins and nobles isn't getting touched when, like I said, nobles just makes you unkillable in the early game, and worst case scenario you're drawing with somebody. Because they're just unable to kill.
They need to just fix nobles in general. Yeah.
Well, they're a transition comp. Even though you're technically able to get 6 and then give your whole team, they're not really built for that. For whatever reason.
6, it's like, oh no, now they suck. Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Is it because I took away my knights for nobles? Is it because I took away my rangers for nobles? No.
They should make glacials, or not glacials, but guardians somehow in the noble tree outside of just Leona. I think that Braum should somehow be able to be
a noble, and he sounds like it when he talks.
Well, that'd be good synergy. Yeah, but that'd be good. He could be all 3.
Yeah, they should make more sense of that.
Yeah, they should add more 3.
And Ron needs to be noble also.
Or give us an item that lets us make nobles. That would also be really good.
Actually, I don't know. I think Braum should actually be.
Could be a brawler. I think he could be a brawler.
Braum's a lot of.
Yeah, Braum falls in the category of a lot of things. They just need to make it to where you can make more of these units with the spatula. Add more items to the game. Add like Raptor's Cloak or something that lets you turn them into a brawler.
No more of this extra gold. No one wants extra gold when you can get an item that literally makes your character immortal. You know why would you want
See,
to?
I don't mind that in the early game though. I don't mind the gold in the early game because it helps you get the 10, and once you get the 10, your econ just takes off. So
Yeah.
I don't mind getting 4 gold from the last set of minions, and then either go on a losing streak and bonus out or whatnot, and then have my econ set up for the rest of the remainder after the first carousel.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Would carousel even like tilt you as much if you already had items? You know.
Well, it would still tilt me because there's still items that you want off the carousel that help with the items you got, because they're still going to be
It's always
RNG.
gonna give it to the guy across. That's who it is.
They need to, like, seriously, they just need to fix carousel. Why
Like,
is it so
oh, your
bad?
last place. Here's the item you want. We'll put it right across from the guy across
Yeah,
from.
7th place, that so he can easily have the item, or vice versa. Like, it shouldn't punish people for going on lose streaks like that. It's a legitimate strategy.
That's legit what you want to be. You want to be 7th place.
It doesn't even matter. I've had it happen in 7th and 8th because both are able to move at the same time. Like, the whole point of going and killing yourself like that is you're giving up life, which is a resource, in order to get item advantage later on, or at least try to get item advantage later on. Because you're not even sure, like, the risk is that you're not even sure what you're going to get on the carousel to begin with. All you know is that the items that you get from the minions, you want to try to combo those items with something from the carousel. That's it. Or maybe if there's no items on the carousel, you then try to get a unit that you may want to buff. But again, if you're in last place and the guy in 7th place can move at the same time, 9 times out of 10, at least in my case, you watched it happen. You've seen it happen in the 3 games I was in, where literally every time I was on the carousel in last place, it would move the item I said I wanted beforehand to the other guy,
Like,
right?
oh, I want the spatula. And then, sure enough, it waits to let you go until it gets to him.
Yeah, and then he just walks straight down and grabs it, and there's no way I can beat him to it.
And he didn't even use the spatula. I'm pretty sure. You know, I know people do that. They grab shiny and then
Don't use it.
They're not using it. They don't want the character either. It's just like, really.
They just didn't know what it did. They just thought, hey, because it's a unique item they haven't seen before, better grab it.
Yeah. I guess it's a strategy. It's annoying.
Yeah, I would just love to see them make it to where last place has, 5 seconds, let's say, to move and be active and get around, so that way they can at least get to the other side of the carousel, get the item they want, and then let everybody else go. Rather than, the alternative being would be just to let last place go until, he picks a unit, but then that would be troll. Because then you could just hold the game up until everybody rage quits, and then you win that way.
Right.
But yeah, I think 5 seconds is more than enough time for the last place player to go, and then you can have everybody else go in twos. I mean, the first place player is already going by himself anyway. So instead, you.
Someone AFKs or anything, first place player, he's not. He's literally last.
Yeah. First place player should always be last. Last place player should always be first. That's how I think how it should work.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be punished for using your life as a resource to gamble a little bit. Like I said, it would be different if you knew what was.
Warlock.
Like, it would be different. Yeah, it's like Warlock and Hearthstone, but it would be at least in that case, you know what's in your deck though. You know what you're looking for. Yeah. Whereas Carousel, you don't have a clue. But like I said, if you knew what was coming on the Carousel, that's one thing. Fine. Let 7th place.
Carousel always has the one item I need, not on.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want a cloak. Oh, I guess we don't have cloaks this time around. I just want a dagger or a longsword. No longswords this time around.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Anyway, let's get back on the patch notes here. Tristana is getting a 0.5 nerf to her attack speed. It doesn't make her any less worse than Vayne. Vayne is still worse than Tristana. Like, it's just what it is.
Well, I don't know why they even nerfed Tristana. Tristana was perfect. I think they should have just left her.
It's the Gunslinger passive, probably because of her and Graves being level 1 units. So easy to get to Gunslinger 2 and then have her target other units. Same with Graves. And the bomb deals AoE damage, so it's a lot of AoE coming out in the early.
I feel like Vayne Varus is still just as easy to get.
I mean, you're almost.
Varus is level 2, but you get level 2 for free.
I would imagine wouldn't even go Vayne Varus. I wouldn't even bother with that. I'd just go Ash and Varus, just because Demon Glacial is stupid if you can actually pull it off. Get a level 2 Demon, like an Elise or something, and then have Vayne, or not Vayne, but Ash, and then have like Braum for your front line to start out, and then get like a Volley, and then get yourself a Sedge. And you're pretty much mana burning frozen targets all day, dealing a crap ton of damage, and they just can't do anything but auto attack you whenever they get unfrozen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tristana nerf, probably not going to be that big. You will probably notice it in the early game, especially if you're not running Graves with her for the Gunslinger bonus. But it's just Riot doing Riot things. Like LS, I was watching LS's video talking about actual League, and he said that it's sad to see them, rather than buff other champions, nerf everybody down. And it seems like the philosophy is still coming in even on TFT. Rather than buffing anything, they're just nerfing everything down.
Yeah. Instead of making everything more fun, they want to kill the fun.
And then they give you these small, minute buffs that don't really do anything. Like, the Rengar buff is probably to offset the crit damage that he's going to lose from the passive at level 3. Or the, whatever you want to call it, the rank 1. Same thing with Evelynn. It's probably to mitigate the damage she's going to lose from the crit. Mordekaiser, like I said, they missed the mark here by a mile. I don't think, like I said, Mordekaiser's issue was 50% or 50 HP. I just don't. I think it's the lack of synergy. And the Knight synergy being terrible.
His issue is really about 150 HP.
He needs...
he needs 150 HP and synergy. That's what he really needs. But
I think if they're not going to give him early game synergy, they need to give him the ability to survive with more HP, like late game.
An actual tank.
Yeah, they should make him an actual tank.
You know, Juggernauts should have about as much health as
Either that or buff Knight. Oh, but we can't buff Knight. Because that would make it too OP. That's too scary. Like, you're buffing Wild because Wild's terrible. Like, they've nerfed everything. Like, if you look at the patch notes, they've actually been nerfing things more than they've been buffing them. Graves got nerfed back before it even launched. What else got hit? Gunslinger got hit recently instead of hitting all targets, and now only hits targets in range. Graves got hit again, I think, at some point. Now they're nerfing Tristana.
And Volley there.
Now Volley's getting hit as well, which he kind of needed to. And again, Volley's problem wasn't that his armor was so strong or he was so powerful. It's that he comes from Glacial, and Glacial is stupid on multi-hit abilities. If you get an Ashe with a Rune's Hurricane, you are going to perma-freeze the enemy team. They will never move, especially if you have a Volibear who's also hitting 3 targets at the same time, or 4 or 5, or whatever it is. I'm glad they didn't go through with the changes that were speculated, where it was going to reduce the target by 1. They did attack, or they did weaken his attack speed though, which kind of sucks, by 10% or 0.10. Yeah, 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, Volley's problem. Here's how you fix Volley. You don't touch the attack speed. What you do instead is you make it to where the lightning that shocks off the first target hit doesn't freeze people. Just the initial hit is what freezes people. And Volley would have been fine.
Well, then they would have to take the on-hit effects off lightning. Or, I don't know, maybe.
I mean, you don't have to take on-hit effects off. You can leave the other on-hit effects. It's just Glacial that's the problem, because he's freezing units. That's why he seems so dominant.
In that case, they should just get rid of it.
That's what I said though. They should get rid of Glacial. Make it to what it is for Sejuani in the actual League game, where it's just a Banshee's Veil that prevents you from being CC'd or something. I think that would be fine as the Glacial passive. It wouldn't be game breaking, and it would fit in line with the other traits for the most part. I think Demon would be the only other trait that actually affects an enemy unit. I mean, I guess Void does, but nobody really ever builds Void because the people that go Void aren't really good. Kha'Zix is okay as an early game assassin, but he falls off so fast that it doesn't even matter. 40% armor penetration or whatever isn't good. It's just not.
Unless you're fighting knights, and then, well.
Even then, it's not good. Like, you have to go Rek'Sai Cho'Gath in order to even get it off the ground, and there's no synergy there.
It's only just pretty much just Cho'Gath with I don't know. You're better off just getting Shogath and then making Kassadin Assassin. That's what you're better. That's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, you'd have to make your comp assassins. You'd have to have a assassin Rek'Sai or assassin Cho'Gath to even make it work. Like, there's just so many synergies that are so wonky feeling. Like, it just doesn't feel like you can make comps efficiently enough in some cases. But, again,
Oh, there's the items now.
the only nerf I'd like to see is one to Glacial where it just changes the passive to something else, and then I think all of Glacial's problems would be solved and they wouldn't feel overbearing. Like, Sedge can perma-freeze you just with the ultimate, Ashe can freeze you with the ultimate, Lissandra freezes you with her ultimate, and to be frozen for an extra 2 seconds on top of that just feels terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
their ults are all built around the freeze mechanic. There's no reason their auto attack should be too. But anyway,
Here's something that needs to be nerfed. I think out of Archon.
here.
No, Curse Blade.
Oh, well, good thing that's next up on the list.
Early game, that if you have A level 2, that's just like wreck your day.
So on to items, guys. Hopefully you're still with us by now. I know we've gone off on tangents multiple times throughout the video. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Let us know what you guys think of our tangents. Let us know if you agree with us on any of it, like the Glacial
That's
or the
real content
Mordekaiser.
right there.
I mean, we're pretty passionate about this stuff. We want the game to be fun. No, it just
Yeah,
is.
it's been too long that games are crappy. We need something needs.
And these are just what.
Point out everything. Need to trust.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get down to items, shall we? Next subcategory, and then there's bug fixes, and then we're out. So, Curse Blade, it's being nerfed from 25 to 20, and for me, I rarely ever see Curse Blade proc when I do use it. I honestly thought the proc rate was probably like 10% or 15%.
For me, it's just 100%. All my units are level 1 now.
Yeah, I've never had it proc at all. I had it on a volley, and he just wouldn't curse anybody. I don't understand how I'm losing 1/4 like that. I guess it's the same way I lose to 2 Glacials and they perma-freeze my team the entire time at a 20% chance. So, whatever. You know, I just... Bad luck. I'm pretty... Like, I have some of the weirdest RNG you will ever see. No matter what game I play.
Breakers 25%.
Yeah, that also doesn't seem to ever proc for me either.
Oh, okay. It's literally 100%.
Oh, well, that's good that you have the 100% bug, because I don't ever proc it ever.
That's why I put that in everything. It's like that.
Again, that's another one I thought that was like 10 or 15% chance. I'm like, a low chance, huh? Even, I actually don't build Hush because I didn't realize that the 50% was that high, or didn't realize it was that high of a chance, rather. To silence people and prevent them from casting.
I've never prevented anyone from casting Hush. I've seen them silenced and they just cast like normal.
Crip, I was watching NL Crip the other night, and he also thought that he seen somebody shapeshift. I think it was a Gnar alt that went off while he was silenced. So I wonder if it's a bug with certain alt types, maybe, where it doesn't prevent them.
That's why that's actually a game of just like that. That's why I thought that when I was facing shapeshifters and they're all shapeshifters, shapeshifter, swords, and they were all so good.
Yeah, cutting in and out a little bit.
Volibear with it. It's a shapeshifter Sorks, and I had a Volibear and Graves with the Hush on.
Yeah, I would imagine actually Hush wouldn't be too bad on demons, especially if you could prevent ults from going off and then demon burn them. I might try that actually. That sounds like it could be good.
If silence work, maybe.
Well, if I can ever proc it, yeah, that'd be something to try. So next item is Infinity Edge, and this isn't anything. This isn't a buff. Don't freak out and be like, oh my god, they're buffing Infinity Edge. This is just to offset the critical buff or critical damage nerfs that they did up at the top, where it's no longer multiplicative, it's additive. So this makes Infinity Edge stay equal. And this is how you determine how much assassins got hit, because they lost 25% from their passive, and they're losing another 25% from the change to how crit damage works. So they're actually losing 50% total, and this is why IE is getting buffed 50% to make up the difference.
So you
So
get if you can get an IE, you can fix one assassin.
actually, that doesn't make sense either. If assassins are losing 25 out of just their passive alone, why is IE getting buffed an extra 25%? I think IE is actually getting buffed 25%. Unless it's a 75% loss for assassins overall. Because it's a 50% total loss because it's not multiplicative anymore.
It's minus 25 for assassin,
Yeah, for level 1.
and then it's plus 50 for that.
Wait,
Plus
is it a 75% damage decrease for assassins early on? For critting? I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter any. Well, yeah, it would. It would. Wait, how come? Wait, what?
It's saying it's only 25%. Oh wait, critical strike damage.
Wait, this is weird. Wait, so everybody's getting hit by this, not just assassins, because they're changing how crit strike in general works.
Assassins will deal around 5% less damage. Come out.
So
Yeah, it explains it right there. So it's pretty much um if you put IE on something, it's pretty much what your assassin should have been before the nerfs.
yeah, IE
So,
will come out net neutral. What it says here.
aside from obviously the what 80. I don't know what it is on this, but yeah, the attack damage. Besides the attack damage, your assassin should be back to normal.
I'm
So if
so
you get a bunch of IEs, you can negate the nerf, but it's not going to be enough. That you right now, assassins still kind of feel
it's
a little on the weak side late game.
well, it's not just assassins that are getting hit though. It's everybody. All crit damage is being changed to additive instead of multiplicative. So it's not just assassins, but they are hitting the assassins crit strike damage to, I guess, mitigate. So I'm guessing everybody's
No
getting
one
hit.
except for sorcerers.
Wait, is this even a nerf?
This is just it might. It's gonna kill assassin counts. I mean, that's for sure.
Well, they're still gonna deal more crit strike damage than anybody else, though. It's
Yeah,
everybody else is so they're trying to remove.
but you got Nar that's being buffed. You got um sorcerers are being buffed that already kind of like they kind of wreck assassins if you set them up right.
Well, I mean, everybody's going down a peg though, and assassins are still staying above everybody else for crit strike damage. They're just gonna deal 25 a little bit less than what they currently do with the multiplicative one. So everybody's going down.
Yeah, but sorcerers don't care about crit strike.
I'm pretty sure that magic can crit strike. That's what Evelyn's ult is multiplicative damage. I'm pretty sure it's considered crit.
Sure, that's not just because of her ult. Crits on it because it says on her ult that as a second thing right below it that she can crit on her ult for up to double. Depending on
Yeah.
what level she is.
Yeah, but that's still considered crit strike damage. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong on that. Maybe magic can't crit strike, but I'm pretty sure it can crit. In TFT anyway.
Maybe I don't. I'm pretty sure I don't know. I think I've seen the Cannon's ult crit before.
It seems
When I
like you
think
get
about
this.
it.
Yeah, you get to see like large blue numbers when you crit. Sometimes it's normal
Yeah.
blue numbers, and then it seems like there's large blue numbers indicating a crit happened.
Yeah.
So this is actually bigger than I thought it was, and I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking this was just hitting assassins, and it's not. It's hitting everybody.
In a way, this is passively buffing knights, though.
Huh?
In a way, this would be passively buffing knights then.
Yeah, because damage is going down.
Yeah.
Well, it's a buff to a lot of comps. It's a buff to shapeshifters because they're no longer going to get melted before they can shapeshift anymore. Buff to knights. It's a buff to nobles. Kind of a buff to nobles and knights, in the sense that you're not going to take as much physical damage to mitigate, so you're going to mitigate more of it. But you're still going to die to magic damage. Make no mistake about that. You're still going to melt, but
Yeah. Sorcerers is gonna. It's gonna be fun.
yeah, this is actually really big, and I didn't even think about that until just now. Like I said, I only read Chris Strike damage on stacks added that are the most applicably paired changes to assassins. I didn't even see the paired word. I just seen with changes to assassins. And
Rocket's
IE.
already patched. Oh,
Yeah,
they
they
said
did that in the last patch.
good thing they didn't buff it like what I heard they're gonna buff it.
I heard they're gonna go Morellos.
Um, up to 25%. That's what I heard.
Well, it looks like
Yeah.
they're only going to 5. So
Yeah.
I think some of the leaks were wrong, but I think some of them were right. Locket needed to be nerfed. Well, what actually did lock it in was that I don't think it stacks with sorcery anymore. It used to stack with like AP. So if you went like a full sorcery comp with 3 lockets, you just got like Yasuo levels of shield.
Okay, so you're guaranteed loot boxes and raptors.
Nice.
So hold on, we'll get to that in a second. So Morello's is 5% now. Not a major buff. It will help, especially since it prevents healing. Kennen, any AoE alt will be really good with Morello still. Garen could even be good in the early game, like he was before. So Morello's buff. On to bug fixes. Like you said, Raptors will now always properly drop a loot box. And I'm not sure what it means by properly drop a loot box. I wonder... I do remember...
Guaranteed loot boxes.
No. I think I do remember there being a bug where loot boxes wouldn't show up from the Raptor round until after the round was over, until you were back to picking your comp and that, when you're setting everything up. But I do remember there being a couple times where I would randomly have items that I didn't have before, and I was confused where I got them from after the Raptors round. I'm guessing that's what it is. Maybe it was going underneath the map or something, and then opening up underneath the map so you get your item or gold.
Do you ever get the thing where you jump to another person's board, right? And there's items that aren't yours on the side?
Yeah, I don't know what
Hey,
causes
you
that
pick those
either.
up.
No, you can't touch them. They're frozen. They're not yours. I'm guessing what happens there is you guys jump, because when you go to another person's board, obviously you have their items. So if they kill somebody, maybe it's the person who died's items that are still stuck there on the board. They
You should
didn't
be able
use
to
them.
grab it, I think, like in Dota. Dota, they just randomly fly across the map and you like, hey, someone died, I got an item.
Yeah. The Guardian trait no longer fades when a Guardian dies. This should never have been a thing to begin with. This should have been patched like day 1 for Guardians. That's pretty dumb that got through as long as it did. Explains why
Yeah.
it feels like my Guardians get just insta-killed once one of them dies, and it seems like everybody just kind of loses their buff and they're no longer tanky.
Hey, redemption's gonna work now. I had this happen actually just not too long ago, last game. My
Yeah.
redemption did not heal at all. It healed no point.
Seems like Redemption heals more than 1,000 though right now when it does heal. I had a level 3
It
volley
does.
I had a level 3 volley bear and it was healing him to full. Like I can't imagine that 30% volley bear is, less than 1,000
Yeah.
to get back up to full. Guardian Angel now triggers in all cases. I'm guessing that one was either probably something to do with
Unless
CC.
Elder Dragon has GA.
Yeah, Elder Dragon will get back up and he will kill you.
At least he's not immune to magic anymore, unless he has
Dragon's Tooth or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that anyway. I don't understand how a single dragon is proccing the dragon passive.
I don't know.
It was so sad though how many I lost when I went all Sorks and I'm like, oh my god, I'm coming back. And then I go to face Dragon and I'm like, dang, I only had 5 health. So it just got I had sorcerers.
Yep. So I think the bug fixes should actually be hot fixes and not bug fixes for the next patch. These could easily be uploaded to live.
Right now?
Yeah.
But it's they do smart. They have smart decisions.
Like this one right here, the Guardian buff is actually really big. It makes the Guardians almost unplayable. Because of that.
Almost.
I mean, it's still nice.
Yeah, until your Leona gets frickin' shot because you have to line them up a certain way to where it leaves one of your Guardians vulnerable on one of the sides. Like, there's no way around it. If you want your whole team to get the buff and 2 units to stack the buff, you have to line them up a certain way. Either they have to be front line or they have to be to the sides, which most teams are building left or right. Or assassins will jump in your back line and kill one of them. But yeah, that needs to be hotfixed to live. That's weird that it's not. The redemption one is whatever. I guess that's bad. And the guardian angel one also should be hotfixed alive because people are wasting gold on an item that won't trigger. Or wasting items on an item that won't trigger. I personally don't use guardian angel. I don't think it's a good item. I just never cared for it.
Yeah.
Like, if you get back up with, what, 30% HP, you're going to get put right back down into the ground. Like, it doesn't take much to take away that much HP again. And usually in that case, it's kind of like what happens in League where you proc your Guardian Angel, your team dies, and then they just wait for you to get back up and kill you again anyway.
Yeah.
Should be like an Hourglass item. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Once you hit 30% HP, Hourglass automatically procs with Redemption.
Oh my. Well, the only problem I see with that is if they make it so Hourglass, it doesn't overlap.
It wouldn't overlap because it's considered a hard CC. Sorry guys, I'm yawning. A bit tired. It's 9 at night. We've done this video like twice now. I'm not gonna lie to you, Twitch chat or YouTube chat and Twitch chat. If somehow this video gets uploaded there, which I doubt it will. But yeah, this is the second time we've done the video because I don't know how to check my audio channels before doing recordings. Rule number 1, guys, always check your audio channels. Make sure everything's recording.
Yep. Audio is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, can be. So, outside of the 2 swear words we said this video, it's not too bad. Try to keep it tame. Anyway,
Keep it Shrek related.
I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and close out the video. Let me know what you guys think of our opinions down below and what you guys think of the patch changes. What do you guys think of Mordekaiser? Do you think he needs more buffs? Do you think he's fine the way he is now? Do you think the 50 HP was really what he needed? Do you think other synergies need to be added for Phantom in order to make him viable? What about the crit strike damage? That's actually the biggest thing in the patch, is they're nerfing how crit strike works. So we should see a lot less damage. We should see a lot more shapeshifters getting their abilities off, a lot more people getting their abilities off, rather. So Darius doesn't die instantly before getting his, decimate off.
It's about to be sword tank meta.
Yeah, probably. Loric shapeshifters, I could definitely see that with Wild definitely getting buffed as well. Like, it's looking like Wild sorcery with shapeshifters.
Yep.
I had to guess. And it definitely synergizes well anyway because of the units. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and sign out, guys.
Makes red buff.
Huh?
Kind of makes red buff a little more OP.
Sort of, yeah. Well, it makes Morello's pretty strong too because of the damage over time. Makes all the damage over time items a bit more strong. Because they actually matter now. So, anyway. With that, guys, we're going to be heading out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So let me know what you guys think of it. As always, I'm Mark Antinami here with my co-host.
Zigzag 808.
And we're signing out. See you on the next video, which will be an Overwatch one, I think. Later.